Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
What is up, gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. I really do appreciate you joining me, and today we are going to talk about dating apps, what people are afraid to tell you about Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and Match. There's a lot of BS out there, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of you guys are really disappointed in the results you're getting. And this really compromises things like your confidence, your self-worth, your belief in your own attractiveness. You think, man, if I'm getting hit this hard on the dating apps, what does that say about my attractiveness as a man? So I'm going to go over all that for you today. Perhaps this will give you some solace. Perhaps this will give you some peace, because the dating apps are a bunch of BS. And when guys come into my program, I teach them how to get girls off the dating apps. Because honestly, the best you're going to get on there, man, is maybe an 8. And I want to preface that by saying my version of what's a 8, 9, or a 10 is probably quite different from yours. I have extremely high standards. A 10 to me is like, I don't know, Megan Fox in Transformers 1. In my opinion, she was pretty much a 10 in that you see a 10 like once a year. 9s you see only at high-end venues, modeling agencies, nightclubs, and shit. And 8s are like probably the hottest chicks that you'll see on a pretty day-to-day basis. So be careful with what you say 10s. But dude, the best you're going to pull off a dating app is an 8 and occasionally a 9. I've pulled 1 9 off the dating apps, but I'm going to get really deep into some of the things that happen on the dating apps, how to deal with certain situations, and kind of want to leave you at the end of this episode feeling a lot better about the dating apps and seeing them as one hook in the water, but you need more fishing hooks, many more fishing hooks. I want my guys talking to 10 to 20 chicks during a given time, and we do that in many different ways. One of them is to set up a social circle, what I call top of funnel ideas, where the hottest of the hot come from, and that's why my guys always get success. Another reason they get success is because of my NLP. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, and I was actually just speaking to a girl who told me she designs apps for cell phones. And she said this really interesting quote that I've heard before, and it actually made me think of NLP. And the quote goes, "Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And a lot of times my clients tell me, they're like, dude, this NLP, which again is neuro-linguistic programming, is like magic, Mark. This shit is just fucking crazy, bro. And I'm like, yeah, it works on an advanced technology, linguistics, embedded commands, because all your belief systems are basically just illusions. You have neuroplasticity in your brain. So if you think you're not enough, if you think you're unattractive, or if you're on the dating websites and it convinces you that you're a fucking sea bass, that's all a belief system, and that can be removed quite easily. And we use NLP protocols. Each one is about 20 minutes. And when my clients join my 3-month coaching program, I make about 5 of them per week for them to go through over the 12 weeks. They do 1 a night, Monday through Friday, about 20 minutes. It leads them through a series of protocols that install new confidence, that remove and replace belief systems, that remove traumas, and basically get them into what we call the alpha mindset. And it is indeed sufficiently advanced technology that's indistinguishable from magic. And I actually want to give a testimonial that I received from my client, Francis. What is up, Francis? Much love for you, brother. I'll read it real quick, gentlemen, and then we will jump into the content. Francis says, "I've just graduated from Mark Sing's 3-month coaching program, and it has changed my life in ways I never thought possible. My entire adult life, I've had zero confidence approaching women due to shame, anxiety, and relentless beta programming. If I talked to a girl, I nosedived into the friend zone. If we dated, I'd idolize her until she couldn't stand my subjugating behavior anymore. I was dripping with insecurity, and that nice guy stank. This year has been one of the best years of my life because I chose to invest in myself and trust Mark Sing to deliver what he promises. I had not been laid in 5 years, and only 5 weeks into the program, I finally had sex like a demon. I'm 44 years old, and now I'm dating a gorgeous 26-year-old French redhead model. Boys, life doesn't get any better than this. This program is a life investment and absolutely, completely, 100% worth every single penny. I thank Mark Sing from the bottom of my heart for turning my life around. unfucking my brain, supercharging my game, and forging me into an unapologetic man. I wish him the best success because he deserves it, Francis. And guys, I didn't make that up. That is a real testimonial. I'm not going to sit here fucking making up testimonials. And one thing, I want you to kind of pay attention to this. Whenever you go to somebody's website and you read the testimonials, look for the way the language is written. If the testimonials all seem like they're written by the same person, they use the same syntax, they use the same adjectives and pronouns, and it just seems similar, you know that shit's bullshit. When you go to my website, fucking read them, man. Go over them with the fine-tooth comb. These are all original testimonials from, yes, guys who joined my 3-month coaching program and like Francis, within 3 months, completely changed his life with that thing NLP, which again is indistinguishable from magic. So if you want to join the brotherhood, go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com, apply for a free one-on-one breakthrough session with me and my team, and we will get you the same results that Francis got in as little as 3 months. So gentlemen, today we're going to talk about those dating apps. Okay, first and foremost, you should know that 50% of chicks on dating apps are either completely fake accounts or they are social validation seekers. Okay, so already 50% of the girls you see, especially the really hot ones, they're freaking fake, bro. Like I can almost guarantee you that super hot chick that you're lusting over and scratching your head as to why she's not returning your emails, yelling at yourself and convincing yourself that you're not attractive enough is fucking fake. Okay, it's a fake profile. The other amount of chicks, and my friends literally do this. I see them do it. I talk to them about it. I'm like, why do you do this? They are just there for attention. They just want to see how many guys hit them up, how many guys like their pictures, how many guys want them. We have to remember that femininity is externally validated. It gets its validation from outside itself. So when a woman is told she's beautiful, she feels beautiful. And this, by the way, is why I want you to look very closely at yourself and ask yourself, am I externally validated? Does it matter to me how many girls check me out, give me their phone number, or have sex with me? If it does, you are in a feminine state of being externally validated. And one of the big things that NLP does is brings you into internal validation while at the same time multiplying your confidence in yourself where you don't give two shits what chicks think about you. And if they don't reply to your DM on Tinder, you don't give a shit, man. You just don't care because it doesn't matter. And you realize, man, 50% of these girls are either fake or attention seekers. So that immediately eliminates half of them. Now we go with the other half. Okay, and here's some hard truths that I'm the one pickup artist coach that's going to admit to you. The way you look on dating apps matters. It does matter. Why? Because it's literally the only thing they have to go off of, except for some maybe cleverly written bios and answers to those questions like on Hinge. Okay, so 90% of your success on dating apps is your pictures. Now, obviously, when you come into my program, not only do I tell you how to take good pictures, which pictures to use, but I also have my 3 hottest girlfriends who, by the way, are on the dating apps themselves and just fucking total social validation seekers. They go through your pictures and tell you which ones to use in which order. So when you come join the program, I have you send me your best 15. My girlfriends go through them. We send it back to you, and then we launch you on the dating apps with my templates. I tell you what to say, how to reply to her messages, and how to get her on a date. But what you need to know is that the way you look is important. So I'm sorry, boys, but if you're not a good-looking dude, it's going to be more difficult for you to get success on the dating apps. Now, that being said, I really want you to listen if that's you. It doesn't matter what you look like when it comes to dating women. Now, how can I say that? I just told you that on the dating apps it matters, but it doesn't matter? What are you saying? You're contradicting yourself. I'm not. Women think it matters, but women have what I call the second mind of women, or we could say that attraction doesn't work logically for women. So logically, they think that a way a man looks is really important, but it fucking isn't. Because if you have internal belief systems and you have game, which is exactly what I teach my guys to have, you could look like a goddamn mountain troll. You can look like an unfrozen caveman and still get chicks. I teach guys to do it day in and day out and twice on Sunday. So make no mistake, just because you're going to get less results on the dating apps, it doesn't mean you can't get amazing results by doing my other methods. But I want to let you know, the one thing that most other pickup artist coaches won't let you know is that looks do matter to an extent. Okay? If you're visibly unattractive, it's going to hinder you. But as long as you look decent, right? If you give yourself like a 6 and above, you can still kill it on the dating apps with good pictures. And this is why I coach heavily on how to take pictures. I teach you how to either get your friend to do it for you or even hire a professional photographer. Get good pictures, send them to me. My girlfriends go through them. And by the way, this isn't a service I'm doing for podcast listeners. It's only a service for my clients. I'm just too fucking busy to do it for you guys. Maybe ask one of your girlfriends or your mom or your cousin to do it. But this is a service I reserve for my clients, okay? They go through your pictures. They tell you which ones to use. And as long as your first picture is you looking at the camera with nobody else around, with a smile on your face, hopefully having good body language, which is one of the most important things, you could probably get good success. But honestly, boys, 5s and 6s on the dating apps feel like they're goddamn 9s or 10s. It's insane. And a lot of you guys are nodding right now and freaking laughing because you're like, some of these canyon mules think they're like the hottest chicks ever. Why? Because it's unprecedented in today's society where an average or even unattractive woman can get this much attention from a man. I have a house assistant who's in her mid-40s, and she was asking me how she could get success on the dating apps. And I was like, man, you know, the dating apps are heavily skewed in favor of women. And she got a little pissed off about it. And I held my own. I was like, it's true, man. I get clients all the time and I get listeners all the time that struggle with dating apps because it's like 20% of the dudes get 80% of the chicks on there because looks matter so much. And women are getting so much attention that they're literally in 10 conversations, which is why oftentimes they won't go out with you. They won't reply to your texts. They'll be like super fickle, super flaky because they have utmost abundance. And this, by the way, is how I teach you to behave when you come into my program. I want you behaving like a hot chick on Hinge, like that level of value, or like the hottest chick in the nightclub who's dancing up on the bar and all these dudes are like fawning for her. That's the way I want you to behave. And I teach you guys how to do that in my program. But we have to understand that in the dating apps, it's difficult to get that projected value without being good looking or at the very least having good pictures. So good pictures are absolutely essential. There are some tenets that I highly suggest my guys do. I'm going to share a few of those with you here. Okay, first picture, as I said, you looking at the camera, hopefully the best picture you have, hopefully in a good looking outfit, you have good hygiene, your teeth look good, you don't have like a Taco Bell bean stuck on your lateral incisor, but instead it's a good picture. One that I found was crazy. I had my shirt off and I was holding a puppy and I was smiling at the camera. That one did really well. And I actually learned that from Tim Ferriss years ago. He didn't experiment with the dating apps and he said that that was his best picture. The shit worked for me too. If you're ripped, I do suggest having a picture of you with your shirt off, but not like a selfie and not looking to try hard. Like you specifically hired a photo shoot, like a fitness photo shoot. What I prefer for you to have is like you're on the beach or you're rock climbing with your shirt off, you're playing soccer with your shirt off. If you're shredded, I would like that to be included. I also like a picture of my guys like in a suit or a nice outfit. Also a picture of them leading men or leading women. As far as you being with a bunch of chicks, I do suggest that for like Instagram and Facebook. I don't suggest that for the dating apps. Have you showing your lifestyle, showing what kind of lifestyle she can expect if she's with you. You with your friends is cool, but most of them should be you alone so she can see what you look like and what your life is like, what your style is like, what your general vibe is when it comes to your lifestyle. As far as the bios and the questions are concerned, brother, they matter so little. But what I would suggest is be funny in some of it, but also serious in other parts of it. Give her a feel for what kind of guy you are and what kind of lifestyle you live. I also suggest putting certain things in there that shows that you're alpha. Okay, so something like, I know who I am and I know what I want, but I'm also very open-minded and willing to listen to others' opinions to perhaps sway my own. Okay, that was something that I used to say in my dating apps, and it always got a lot of like love and a lot of likes because it shows high value traits. So we want to communicate humor, right? It says like, what do you do for a living? I'm a penguin valet. I work at the zoo and pick up penguins because penguins can't actually pick up themselves. And I pick up penguins and I was 2008's Penguin Valet of the Year, something like that, right? Something funny. Or I'm an ass model. I'm a dolphin trafficker. I milk almonds at the almond milk farm, right? Just something funny, but then really say the real thing. So if it's like, what do you do for a living? I say I milk almonds at the almond milk farm. I'm 2021's best almond milker of the year. Not just kidding. I'm actually an NLP coach. NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. I help install confidence and help my clients deal with traumas from their past, would be something I might write. Okay, so we want to be funny, but at the same time communicate our lifestyle and how we roll in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so that's a very general blueprint of how to set up your profiles. When it comes to what to write these chicks, I'll do a podcast on it here shortly. I actually have a series. It's called Online Dating God. It's pretty decent, but honestly, shit has changed so much since I recorded that several years ago that I should probably do it again because I've changed many of my opinions. I've changed many of my tactics because this is an ever evolving industry and the dating apps are ever evolving. There's new technology. So this really warrants its own dedicated set of podcasts to go through it. And I should probably do like one on Tinder, one on Hinge, one on Bumble. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But this one is to really kind of calm your mind about how much the dating apps suck and that you're not the only one struggling on them. Trust me, you're not. But when you come into my program, I literally teach you how to eventually get rid of the dating apps. Like Francis, the dude whose testimonial I read, he doesn't fuck with dating apps anymore because he's got a pipeline set up. He's got a top of funnel idea set up and he's so good at cold approach. It's like, why do I need to like hide behind a computer to find chicks when if I go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, there's like 3 8s there usually every time I go and I could probably yank every single one of their numbers. Why would I even bother? The thing for dating apps is it's for, I hate to say, but it's for people who are afraid of approaching in person. Now, certainly, as I said, it supplements. It should just supplement your freaking fishing lines where you're getting a couple catches in the bucket that came from the dating apps, but the majority of them are from cold approach and top of funnel ideas where the real hot chicks come from. And make no mistake, boys, like what kind of high quality chick would be on a dating app? Like, come on. Let's really get real about this. What kind of super hot, high quality 10, which I know is the girl you want, would be fucking with the dating app? That one 9 I met, and when I say 9, not only was she super banging, but she was educated and super fucking cool. She was in dental school and she simply didn't have the time to like go out to nightclubs or like meet friends through social circle game because like all her friends were dentists. So that was like the best chick I've met off of there. All the other girls were canyon mules, sea hags, and sea donkeys. And the reason is not because of their looks. Like there are some cute ones, but like there always seemed to be something wrong with these chicks. And I know a lot of you guys again are like nodding furiously, being like, dude, you're so right, man. You're so right. Because dude, what kind of girl would need to go on there? Unless she's super busy and has just failed over and over again, then it's like not the highest quality girls, right? Let's be honest with each other. So the dating apps are a simple supplement. I do like to use them in my coaching program because it gets the ball rolling quickly, gets my guys on dates, gets them practice. They learn how chicks text and how fickle they are, and they get practice with it. And I'm going to go into some of the issues they run into. One of the issues they run into, of course, is ho-hum conversations, boring responses, seemingly not too interested. I would suggest listening to my texting masterclass, which I believe I dropped about 3 months ago. I would also suggest listening to an episode called Texting Mega Hack, the Atomic Trust Technique. God, that was a good title, right? That's about how to get girls to shit or get off the pot, as it were, when it comes to them being flaky on the dating apps. Another thing girls will do is like they'll refuse to meet with you. They'll refuse to give you their phone number, which is a theme I've been running into with my clients. Like these girls won't give me their number, but they're still willing to like hang out, but they won't give me their number. So my advice around that is when a girl is giving you resistance on the dating apps, right? If you're like, hey, why don't you toss me your number? Let's move this over to texting because messaging on this app is a little inconvenient for me. If she's like, no, I'm not really comfortable with that, just be like, okay, I understand. We can continue talking on the app. Okay, which basically shows that you're willing to accommodate for her comfort. And this is a big, big tip that I want to give you guys on this episode. I've talked about frame checks in the past. Okay, frame checks are basically where she's testing you, testing your boundaries, asking you for favors, or saying something kind of messed up that's attempting to get a rise out of you. Such as, why are you wearing those pants? Like, do you think you're from the 1950s? Or why would you wear a pink shirt? Are you gay? Why do you work there? Are you not smart enough to get a better job? And girls will say this stuff in an attempt to get a rise out of you, right? And the thing when it comes to frame checks, as I always teach on, and I have a myriad of episodes about frame control and how to reverse things like this on women, is that you can't be affected and you do things like agree and amplify or flip the frame on her. For example, why are you wearing the pink shirt? Are you gay or something? You say, yes, I'm so gay. I sucked 200 dicks yesterday. My jaw's killing me. So when she's trying to deliberately test you, push your boundaries, mess with you mentally, you basically agree with it and you amplify it, thus showing her that you're unaffected. But a lot of guys get confused between frame checks, which again is her testing you, and simple discomfort, which happens all the time on the dating apps, and I want to address it here. Discomfort is, I'm not comfortable giving you my phone number. I'm not comfortable meeting you yet. I'm not comfortable with you picking me up, or I'm not comfortable coming over to your house for our first hangout and doing Netflix and chill, which will happen a lot of times if you guys are like trying to get a girl to come directly to your house. So when it comes to discomfort-oriented objections on the dating apps, and this is one of the big hiccups that my guys experience, agree with it and go with it and show her that her comfort is important to you. And this, by the way, is why I ask girls, would you be comfortable with me picking you up, or would you rather meet there when I'm going for the logistical close when it comes to the hangout? Would you be comfortable with me picking you up, or would you rather meet there? And she's like, I think I'd rather meet there. You'd be cool. See you there at 7 p.m. Okay, so when it comes to her not wanting to give you her phone number, be like, I totally understand. You're not comfortable with that yet. We can continue talking here. Now, you see the way I say that, I'm still controlling the frame because I'm letting her have her way. So it's a little bit different than you buying into her frame, which we never want to do as unapologetic alpha silverback champions. Okay, you are agreeing with what she said in respect of her comfort level. So if you're going on a date and you're going to take her to sushi and she's like, I don't really like sushi, it kind of gives me a stomach ache. And you're like, no, we're going to sushi because you think you have to control the frame. That's the wrong thing. So the big thing about dating apps is it's really comfort oriented. Like, is she comfortable with this? If she's not, it's your job to offer an alternative and take her there, lead her to where women want to be led. So when it comes to her not wanting to give her number, which is pretty ridiculous, right? Like, seriously, some girls will hang out with you before even being willing to give you their number. And let's look at this logically. Like, why would they do that? Because they've had stalkers. You could look up a lot of personal information with phone numbers, and like she might have to block you or even change her number if you turn into a stalker Texas Ranger. So some girls aren't willing to do that. You're okay with that. So that's a big rule I wanted to share with you boys, which is if she's uncomfortable, you accommodate. If she's frame checking you, like purposely trying to get a rise out of you, push your boundaries or be bitchy, then you could do things like agree and amplify or reframe, which is saying something like the real question is, and flipping it on her. So she's like, is this what you say to all the girls? And you say, the real question is that what you say to all the guys? Did you learn that in one of the pickup books that you read? You flip it on her, right? Because it's a test. But if she's like, you're standing a little bit close to me, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this, you'd be like, oh, okay, I understand. Let me step back a little bit. And you're unaffected emotionally. And this is going to happen a lot on the dating apps. So guys, I really have to tell you, the dating apps are fickle, man. Like, don't take them so seriously. Don't base your own self-confidence and your attractiveness off your performance on the apps, because it is not a realistic representation of your championhood. Don't think that you're going to get some high quality marriage material chick off of there. You might. I don't want to like piss in your river or launch a rope of diarrhea in your morning coffee. You might. But let's be real with each other. The chicks that get on there usually haven't succeeded with dating, and now they have to go get on an app. Or they're social validation seekers. They just want to feel hot and they want to get your attention. So when they don't reply or ghost you, it's because, bro, they never had any intention to go out with you in the first place. And then you might ask, well, why are they doing it? I just told you, because they're looking for attention. Literally, a girl texting with you over dating apps is enough for her. For us, it's not even close to enough. It's like the biggest waste of time ever, and we get pissed off when it goes nowhere. But for a girl, just that interaction, that flirtiness, that hopefully you're making her laugh kind of vibe is enough. It's totally enough. And my friends all do it. They're like on Tinder and Hinge and Bumble. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're leading these dudes on. They're like, I don't care. They shouldn't be on here anyway if they don't want to get led on. I'm like, oh my hell, I want to choke you out for all my boys in the unapologetic man army because you're driving us crazy. But if you too cannot take it so seriously, fuck around, have fun, just see it as virtual reality, it's gonna be a lot easier on you, man. And furthermore, learn the skill set to do this shit in person so that the next time you walk into Trader Joe's and you see a fucking baddie standing in the fruit section, you can roll up on her, open her up, engage her in conversation, get her attracted to you, yank her phone number, text her the next day at 6 p.m., close the date, and be having sex with her within literally a few days of you meeting her. So much better, so much better. So that's the truth that nobody wants to tell you about the dating apps. They are fickle, they are unreliable, the girls on there are not that high quality, and yes, the way you look matters, man. The way you look matters. Also, final thing I want to say, if you're 5'9" and below, I really hate to say this, man, but you are going to get nixed simply because of your height on the dating apps. Now, again, boys, please fucking listen to me. Height does not matter. Height does not matter. Height does not matter. It does not matter. They think it matters. So they filter for on the dating apps. But if you have game, put me in a fucking guy who's 5'2" or 4'11". Put me in a 4'11" midget's body, I will still pull models. Because of game, because of frame, because of confidence and loving who I am and knowing that I am socially valuable enough to pull that girl. So yes, on the dating apps, it matters, quote unquote, because those are the filters they think they want to screen for. And that's why it's a detriment to dudes who aren't good looking, who are short, or who have some other kind of thing that may be unattractive because they filter for it thinking rationally that's what they want. But you and I both know that girls will sleep with dudes who don't meet their criteria logically all the time. So if you're less than 5'9", it's gonna be hard for you, man. If you're not good looking, it's gonna be hard for you, man. If you have shitty texts, if you're thirsty and follow up, if you do all the wrong things as teached in this podcast, but more importantly in my 3-month coaching program, it's not gonna work out for you. So go learn how to pick up girls in a different way, a way that I will teach you to sidestep rejection and be able to get any single girl you see, no matter where the fuck you are, anytime you want and twice on Sunday. If you want to meet with me and my team on a free one-on-one breakthrough session, please go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com. Click on coaching, fill in the quick application, and you and I will get on that call together. And I want to say one last thing. A lot of the problems with women for you are in your head, man. They're in your head. You believe you're not enough. You believe because you're less than 5'9", you're unattractive. You believe because you're bald, fat, or look like a chicken McNugget with tits, you can't get girls. It's all in the mind. When you fix the mind, body language changes. Tonality changes. The way you hold yourself completely changes, and then girls get attracted to you. So yeah, the dating apps are going to nix a lot of dudes right off the bat. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It's that same way with fat chicks too. So, it's equal on both sides, but you can circumvent that by getting game in real life, and more importantly, putting yourself in a top of funnel position where you're the alpha and you have value and status that girls will automatically be attracted to, and flip the script on these chicks who are ruling over you on the dating apps, turning you into some kind of supplicating slave. I want you to be the hot chick on the dating apps, but it's going to happen in real life with the top of funnel social circle type game ideas that I teach you guys in my 3-month coaching program. That's the way to do it. So don't get butthurt about what happens on the dating apps. It's skewed in a way where the 20% of dudes who are tall and good looking and completely shredded and know how to text chicks get better results than the rest of everybody. So if you're that dude who falls in the 80 percentile, who isn't naturally good looking and tall and knowing how to do all this stuff, don't take it seriously. I still recommend staying on there, getting decent pictures up, but don't take it seriously, man. It's the freaking Matrix, dude. It's virtual reality, and just have fun with it. You can even fuck around. Like, some of my best successes came when I'd say shit like, "You're cute, but I hope you're not a lunatic." Right? And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, this shit works? Yeah, man, it works. And I share templates like that with my clients that work like gangbusters. So don't take it seriously. Don't let it affect your self-esteem. You are a fucking champion. You are a legend, and accept yourself as if you chose the way you are. And when you go up to that girl in Whole Foods, if you really believe that, you'll yank her number and you'll be like, delete all those bullshit ass apps on my phone because I don't even fucking need them, which is where I try to get every single one of my guys, including Francis. I do appreciate you listening, gentlemen. I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.